Welcome everyone to Selenium Training by Wisdom Trainings. Hello everyone. Today in this video we are going to start with the Python basics. In the previous video we have already downloaded the prerequisites which were required, and in this video I am going to start with the normal basics, that are the syntaxes, syntactical errors that may come up, and some variables and data types and their rules. Fine. And to start with, what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to open up my PyCharm IDE. Whatever I'm going to run on my PyCharm IDE, once it's completed, I'm also going to run it on Eclipse IDE as well to show you that the statements are going to be the same, just the platform is different. Okay. So now over here in the last video we have seen this print statement, right? So this is the simple syntax of a print that you can give in Python. No extra end of line statements, like you don't have to give any colon or something. Nothing is required. It simply is going to print your output, what is going to come, and that's good. And the same thing we have seen in Eclipse as well, that it was running perfectly fine. Now moving on to the syntactical error. Syntactical errors are somewhat when the Python language has a predefined grammar and you do not follow it. Like Python is very strict about the blank spaces. Fine. Wherever the blank spaces are not required and you are giving the space, it's going to pop up with an error. Like for suppose over here in the print statement, there is nowhere I want to have some blank space. I don't want to have any blank space before the margin or before the print statement. I don't want it, but still for my satisfaction I give a blank space like this only. So it's going to give me an error. What error? I'll show you. Indentation error. Why? Because over here the space that I'm giving is not required, it's unnecessary and is also not allowed. So that's why you have to be very particular about some things in Python. The same way, for suppose I have a print statement which is quite long and I want to print it. Let's say I'll get a statement from Google itself. Let's say I have this statement. Okay, it's quite small. Let me just have it till Python packages. Yeah. Fine. So over here you can see that the statement that I want to print is quite long. I have to scroll my workspace to see whether the quotes have been closed, there is an ending bracket or not. So I have to scroll it. That I don't want. I just want that all the details, all whatever code I have written should be displayed on the workspace itself without the need of scrolling. So I can split it into the parts. I can split it into these parts. Okay. Now what Python will automatically do in versions, it depends on version to version now. If I'll just undo the change that I have done, over here you can see that there is no quotes that is coming. There is no quotes. But when I'll press enter, it will automatically get the quotes, which signifies that the print statement starting from here ends over here, and from the next line the same statement is being continued by the quote. If you remove these quotes, it's going to give you an error. What error? Saying the end of line character is not available. Like this. Fine. So to avoid it, usually you see that the quotes automatically came, but in your case if you are using an older version in which it's not automatically coming, so what you can do is you can just add on a slash wherever you are entering the statement in the next line. You can enter a slash and it will consider it as a same statement. Now if I run this code, run as, so now whole line is coming in the same way, but there is some space over here, there is some unexpected space, so you can just get it over here. run as this. So now there is no extra space that I'm getting. It's working fine. Fine. So there are two things over here that you should also be careful about: the end of line character, that your statement whichever you are giving is properly ended. Fine. Now this was the simple Python syntactical errors that do come. If you are new, you might face these issues, and I also will suggest you to make these errors and understand how it's being corrected. Okay. Now Python is whenever you will read the definition that what is Python, you will get to encounter a line: Python is an interpreted language. Now why is it saying that it's an interpreted language? Because how the interpreter is going to work in Python is, it's going to read the code one by one, line by line, sorry. It will read line 1, will look for the error. If there is no error in the first line, it will jump to the next line. Again check the same next line. The whole line will look for the errors. No errors, then will go on. Suppose in the third line I find an error, like over here I find some error. So at this time only it's going to stop the execution of the code and will pop up with the error. There are another languages as well which does not check line by line. They check the whole code at one go. Fine, but Python is an interpreted language and it will give you the line number at which the error has came. Like for example, I remove this slash from here and I run it again. Now over here, you can see it's giving me the line number at which my error has occurred. The same way if somewhere else I'm getting some error, so the line number is going to be provided to me for my information. Okay, now these two things I wanted to tell you. Now moving further, I have the topics of variables and data types. Data types, or let's just first discuss variables. Variables are nothing but a container in which you can store a value. I also will keep on writing the definitions as well, because you will also be getting this code. Variables are containers which or whose value may vary or may not. Okay, like for suppose I have a variable. Now variable can be any, you can name it anything, but there are some rules. I'll tell you the rules by which you need to follow while giving the name of a variable. I'm just using this alphabet A to define a variable of mine. Okay, now right now it's just a simple character, it's just a simple letter. Once I'll put some operator in ahead of it, it is going to be considered as a declaration of a variable, and after this equals to, I can give anything. I can give a word, I can give a number, I can give a decimal number, a binary number, whatever you want, you can give it. Like for suppose I give it as 9.5. So now this A has become a variable which is containing the value 9.5. If I'll print this value, I'll say print A and I'll run this, run as this. So I'm getting the value which is stored inside the variable A. The same way I can use another values as well. Like for example, I'm using the same variable and this time I'll give the name it as, let's say, now this is a word that I'm giving to the variable. So now in variable A, there is a string being stored, that is Python. So now if I run this, run as Python run, and over here I'm getting the value Python. Now Python actually provides you a facility to use the same variable. You may use same variable. You can see over here that previously I was giving the value to this variable A as 9.5, and in the next step I am changing the value to a string. In some language this is not supported. It will give you a duplicate variable error. Fine, but in Python it's not like that. You can use the same variable again and again. Okay. Now you can see over here that this is a number and this is a word. And I'm not specifying anywhere that what is being stored in the variable. Why? Because Python does not require that. Python has a inbuilt functionality by which it automatically decides that what is the value stored in the variable. There is an inbuilt function in Python by which you can check the data type. What is the type of the data you are storing? And this is a function. You can pass on the variable whichever you want to look for. I want to look for the variable A, that what is the value, what is the data type of the value stored in A. So I'll save it and I'll run it. So you can see over here I am getting it as float. The same way, if I just use the same command for my second declaration of second value, where I'm giving the value as Python, a word. So now the data type is going to be automatically decided, that is string. So this is a functionality, this is a facility that Python provides you by not confusing you or by not forcing you to provide the data type before initializing the variable. Okay, so these are some of the benefits. Now over here, coming to the rules, let's just talk about the rules now. There are 4 rules which are defined while defining a variable. First of all, your variable, the name of the variable should not start with number. Okay, now if I just take a variable, let's say I take a variable 1a is equals to 10 and I want to print the variable 1a. So now it's going to give me an error. I'll save it. You can see yourself that it's giving me a red marker over here. So I'll save it and it's giving me an error, invalid syntax, which means that it is against the rule of defining a variable. I cannot do this. But reverse of this is possible. Like name can contain a number. It is possible. How? Let me just reverse the variable name. Now from 1a, I'll do it a1. Now it's not going to give me any error because variable can be alphanumeric. Now you can see it's not giving me any error. Instead, it's giving me the value of the variable a1. Okay. Then comes up is the special symbol. Special symbol. Now while you are declaring the variables, only a single special symbol is allowed, that is underscore. Underscore is allowed while giving the variable names, but any another special symbol like dollar, exclamation mark, at the rate, these all are not allowed. They are not allowed. So if I'll just give you a demo of this, let's say I have a variable where variable 1 and it has a value variable 1. Okay, I can use it and I can print it. I can get the type. I can call the type function over here for my var 1, and I can also print this variable. I'll save it and I'll run it. So you can see over here that I'm getting the value as well as the type of the data that is stored in the variable. But if in case I am not using underscore, I'm using it as exclamation mark, or let's say @ because we usually use this special symbol. So let's say I have it now. So I'll save it and I'll run it. So you can see over here it's giving me an error saying that it's a syntax error, and the value cannot be assigned to the operator. So that's why I told you that this is not possible. This is possible, but special symbol, these are going to give you an error, that is syntax error. Okay. Again, coming to the rule. Now this rule is basically about the keywords. In every language, there are some predefined values which are given the meaning in the language itself. Like for example, I'm using this print, right? If I get my mouse over this print, so I get the details that what this print statement is assigned to do the work. It's assigned to do the work to just collect the stream and print it on the console. This is the function of this print command. The same way I have another keywords, like the keywords I have, let's say whichever keywords we are using, like in decision making statement we use if, else, if, elif, sorry. Then for the looping I have for, while, and for exception handling I have try, catch, finally. Okay, now right now you won't just understand these keywords, but by the time we cover it, you will yourself will understand them. Okay, but the rule is that you cannot use a keyword which is already having a meaning in the language dictionary. You cannot use those keywords as a variable. Like if I try to use a variable, to use a keyword try as my variable, I'll say try is equals to 10. So now this is not allowed. Why? Because try is itself having a work, a meaning in the dictionary, and it is specified to do a simple work, and it cannot be used as a variable. So this is a rule that you cannot use keyword as a variable. Okay. Now these are the 5 rules of defining a variable. Now you need to be very strict about these rules because you won't like to get an unnecessary error while working on, right? Now we have seen these things. I have told you the syntax, the syntactical errors, the variables, how you can declare them, what are the benefits that you are having in Python by reusing the same variable. That is allowed, you can use that. What are the rules to define the variables? What are keywords? They are the identifiers and already have the meaning in the dictionary of Python. So you cannot use them as a variable. Now moving further to the data types. Now over here data types we have already seen. I am giving the value to a variable, and over here I am getting the data types as float, string, also there is integer. If I'll just will print, I'll say print type function and give me the value of A1. So I'll save it and I'll run it. Now you can see over here that I also have a data type integer. The same way Python also provides you the another type of variable, another type of data type, the complex one. Now the complex ones are usually not going to be used throughout the working, but they are the complex variables that are defined. Like for example, I have a variable C and I have the value as 5 plus 7j. Now if you remember, this kind of numbers we used to use in our junior classes, like in 8th or 9th, 8th or 7th. At that time we used to use this kind of numbers and we used to find the value of j. Now Python is not going to help you in finding that, but this kind of numbers are also supported. This data type is also supported, and it's going to give you the data type of this as a complex one. You can just generally do the calculations, like you can add these. If I have another variable, let's say d is equals to 8 plus 4j. So what I can do is result. This is a variable in which I am going to add the complex numbers c and d, and ultimately I am going to print the result variable, and also I will like to get the type of the resultant variable. So I'll save it and I'll run it. Okay, I forgot to mention t. Run. So over here you can see that I am getting the output as 5 plus 8 13 and 7 plus 4 11. So this kind of operations you can perform using Python, and the resultant data type of the variable is again complex. Okay, these are the data types that are supported in the Python language. They are easy to declare. There is no extra columns you have to provide, no extra detailing, like you don't have to inform previously that what's the data type of the variable, nothing like that. It's just simple to go. And the same thing if I copy it from here, the whole thing along with the comments, I'm copying it, and I'll just will paste it all in my another IDE, that is my Eclipse, or let it stay. And if I run this now, you can see the whole output that I was getting on my IDE PyCharm, that all is coming over here as well, the same way. So that I told you earlier that the syntax is going to be same, just that the platforms are different. That's it. Okay. One thing I just forgot to inform previously, that there are two types of comments that are included in Python. The comments are the statements which are not going to be executed by the interpreter. They are going to be skipped. Like the interpreter will come to this point, line number 16, look for 17, and over here on the 18th line it will find this hash sign. Without even checking this line, it will jump to the next line because of this sign is used to define the statement. Now this is a single line comment. This is a single line comment. All the comments that I have made, the gray lined statements, these are the single line comments. The same way, there is another type of comment which is, now this is a double line, this is a multi-line comment section. By using the 3 single quotes, now this becomes a multi-line comment section. The color is different, you can see yourself. Whatever will be included in this block is not going to be executed, nor it's going to be printed. If I run it for you, so you can see over here, now where I am able to see these lines which are here, the rules that I have written. Fine. So these were also to be aware, because sometime to increase the readability of the code, I have to introduce some of the comments. Fine. So this is also very important to understand. The same comments are supported in the IDE Eclipse also. Over here you can see that when I created the module in Eclipse, this statement that when I created this particular module, that's coming up. I haven't wrote it, but it's coming. It's automatically coming. It's not being executed either. It's just in the comment section, and that's it. Okay, so this was about the Python variables and data types along with some syntactical errors and the syntaxes. So you just do practice this, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.